Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update. Additionally, consider subscribing to my Patreon to get access to these features, and much more. I was 16 when I first started crossdressing. I had always been fascinated by women's clothing, and I would often sneak into my mom's closet to try on her dresses and skirts. I felt so pretty and feminine when I was wearing them, and I would often spend hours just twirling around in front of the mirror. One day, my mom caught me in her closet. She was furious, and she immediately grounded me. She told me that crossdressing was a sin, and that I was never to do it again. I was so ashamed, and I promised her that I would never do it again. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop wanting to feel pretty and feminine. So, I started sneaking out of the house at night to go to the mall. I would buy clothes from the women's section, and I would wear them back to my room. I would put on my makeup, and I would spend hours just looking at myself in the mirror. I felt so happy and free when I was crossdressing. I felt like I could be myself, and I didn't have to worry about what anyone else thought. But I knew that I couldn't keep doing it in secret forever. I knew that I had to tell someone. So, I decided to tell my best friend. She was the only person I could trust, and I knew that she would understand. I told her everything, and she was so supportive. She told me that it was okay to be different, and that I shouldn't be ashamed of who I was. I was so relieved to hear that. I finally felt like I could be myself, and I didn't have to hide anymore. I started wearing dresses and skirts to school, and I even started going to a support group for crossdressers. I met so many other people who were just like me, and it was so liberating to finally feel like I belonged somewhere. I'm now 25, and I'm still crossdressing. It's a part of who I am, and I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm proud to be different, and I'm proud to be me. One day, I was at home, getting ready to go out. I was wearing a dress and heels, and I was feeling really good about myself. I was just about to leave when my mom came into my room. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I'm going out," I said. "Where are you going?" she asked. "I'm going to a party," I said. "But you're dressed like a girl," she said. "I know," I said. "I'm crossdressing." My mom was silent for a moment. Then she said, "I don't understand. Why are you doing this?" "Because it makes me happy," I said. "It's who I am." My mom shook her head. "I don't understand," she said. "You're my son. You're supposed to be a boy." "I am a boy," I said. "But I'm also a girl." "I'm both." My mom looked at me for a long time. Then she said, "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," I said. "Just accept me for who I am." My mom nodded. "I'll try," she said. I smiled. "Thank you," I said. I went to the party, and I had a great time. I felt so happy and free being myself. I knew that my mom was still trying to understand, but I was glad that she was trying. I knew that things would be okay. The next day, I woke up to the sound of my mom knocking on my door. "Can I come in?" she asked. "Sure," I said. She opened the door and came in. She was carrying a cup of coffee. "I made you some coffee," she said. "Thanks," I said. She sat down on the bed next to me. "I've been thinking about what you said yesterday," she said. "And I want you to know that I love you no matter what." I smiled. "Thanks, Mom," I said. "I still don't understand why you want to dress like a girl," she said. "But I'm willing to try to understand." "Thank you," I said. "I just want you to be happy," she said. "I am happy," I said. "When I'm dressed like a girl, I feel like myself." "I'm glad," she said. We talked for a while longer, and then my mom left. I was so happy that she was trying to understand. I knew that things would be okay. I went to school the next day, and I was wearing a dress. I was a little nervous, but I was also excited. I knew that some people would make fun of me, but I didn't care. I was finally being myself. I walked into my first class, and everyone turned to look at me. I could hear them whispering. I took a deep breath and walked to my seat. The teacher started class, and I tried to focus on what he was saying. But it was hard. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. After class, I was walking down the hall, and I heard someone call my name. I turned around, and it was my best friend. "Hey," she said. "I like your dress." "Thanks," I said. "You look really pretty," she said. I smiled. "Thanks," I said. I was so happy that my best friend was supportive. I knew that I could always count on her. I went to the rest of my classes, and I was surprised that no one else said anything to me. I guess they were all just trying to be polite. After school, I went home and changed into my regular clothes. I was tired, but I was also happy. I had taken a big step, and I was proud of myself. I knew that there would be more challenges ahead, but I was ready for them. I was finally being myself, and I wasn't going to let anyone stop me. The next day, I went to school again, and I was wearing a dress again. This time, I wasn't as nervous. I knew that I had nothing to be ashamed of. I walked into my first class, and everyone turned to look at me. But this time, I didn't care. I held my head high and walked to my seat. The teacher started class, and I tried to focus on what he was saying. But it was hard. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. After class, I was walking down the hall, and I heard someone call my name. I turned around, and it was a boy from my class. "Hey," he said. "I like your dress." I smiled. "Thanks," I said. "You look really pretty," he said. I blushed. "Thanks," I said. I was so surprised that a boy would compliment me. I guess not everyone was as judgmental as I thought they were. I went to the rest of my classes, and I had a great day. I was starting to feel more comfortable being myself. I knew that I would still face challenges, but I was confident that I could handle them. I'm so glad that I decided to be myself. It's the best decision I've ever made.